Hey y'all, it's Luna Bell. Y'all, I saw a post earlier this morning and commented on it about it was about the gate in the MK Ultra programs. Um, Most of mine comes out in my stories, my own personal story, and well, that's what most of ours is. But I'll give you some specific things I remember. Y'all, these are all stories from my own personal perspective for entertainment purposes only. Uh, 18 plus trigger warning. Uh, but I went to Columbus. I lived in Columbus, Georgia. I grew up there. But I went to Tillinghurst Elementary, allegedly. Anyhow, y'all, over at Columbus, I remember it's it was actually a set of green wooden stairs that went out from the outside back by the recess by the playground area. You would go up these green steps, but what I see is that they would change to brick steps, and there was, I can't remember, 111 on my timer. One, two, I want to say 7 or 8 steps, and it was like concrete steps, brick steps going up. It wasn't the wooden steps that are actually there, and these were actually wider. And it went into this room, and it almost had like a 4 room, is what's coming out right now. Um, and there it was speech therapy, is what I was told. And the woman would keep saying, "Do you see the words coming out of my mouth?" 144 on my timer. And she would point at her mouth and she'll say, and even now, and y'all, I do have a speech impediment. Even now, if I have difficulty, like I have trouble saying, well, my son's fiance's name, I have trouble saying her name. So now I want to look at a person's mouth when I have difficulty saying something, and I'll have them say the word for me, and I'll watch your mouth move. But anyhow, that's how she taught me. But she was also very mean. I remember the big headphones, the hearing test, supposedly. But there was always a subchamber as well. It felt I'm hearing the word shoot, like CHUTE. And I'm being reminded of the game by that name, Shoots and Ladders, for some reason. I'm not sure when that became popular or started coming out, but that would be interesting to look into. Anyhow, it's just like our phones are very useful as well, and the internet, whatnot, when it came out. Anyhow, those are some of the things I remember in specific. Also, there was they're saying a chamber beneath the auditorium as well, a sub-level there. But also there was a bridge not far down the road from the Tillinghurst Elementary in Columbus, Georgia, that I hated walking over this bridge because I have memories of going over the side of the bridge, of feeling like I was jumping or being thrown over. It was 3:30 on my timer there. I remember what the sensation to me is of being thrown over and falling into nothingness. I hated going that way. You hear, I hated going that way is what comes out. Y'all, and I'm still terrified of heights till this day because of that. I do know there is another entrance level, ground level. There are several entrances actually down that stream bed. Me and some of our friends y'all, we used to go get carps. You know, we'd go fishing for carps, whatnot, down there in that stream. Um, there was a lot of things I remembered. In particular, there's a lunch lady that comes to mind. And honestly, I'm being reminded of my mama. Um, See, my daddy went in the Marines first, and well, their first 2 kids were born here, where I live now, and then a sister was born in San Antonio, and then another, the one above me, the one that's most aggressive with me, and it was 444 on my timer with that. She's what I call the enforcer for my mama. Anyhow, uh, she was born in Jacksonville, Florida. And it was there that my mama was allegedly institutionalized around the time before or after that my sister was born. I'd probably after. But now, y'all, when I saw a post someone, well, I can't remember if it was the one I saw this morning and commented on. I can't remember if she mentioned they used the addictive recreational bullshit, you know, the adult creation on the dark side, you know what I'm saying, the addictive things. Three-letter one was mentioned in particular, and I have memories of my oldest sister. This was on Florida Drive in Columbus, Georgia, and I think the second rental home we lived in, that she would come home on the, she had taken one of the fungi thingy, or whatever it was, but she was literally trying to tie up one of our sisters. She's real skinny and known. She was trying to tie her up, her legs and arms and bullshit. But it was things like that that my mama would use and incorporate into the things that she did as well. That is a huge memory in my life. And I know one of the things I'm being reminded of, the first time I had to, where they went down and looked down my belly, the doctor, and y'all, I was a nurse, the doctor actually had to, they were trying to, you know, get me to go nighty-night so I could relax so they could do that. And I was fighting it. And I remember fighting it, and I remember my blood pressure and everything and my heart rate going up. And I remember opening my eyes, and the doctor realized, and I know the doctor still, he realized that I was fighting it. And he said, "You can trust me." Y'all, I was on guard because, well, that was something that obviously was used before me when I was younger. Now, I mention this because the memory there is, I remember in my mind the conversation I had with guides or whoever, and telling myself to slow my heart rate down, but to also lower my blood pressure. Y'all, we can do that. We can physically adjust our heart rate and our pressure ourselves with our own gifts. If you think about the heart and the EKG, it works off electricity, energy. We are nothing but energy. But I remember that moment, and when they were trying to get me to relax enough for them to do that procedure, that was one of the thoughts that was most in my mind, because I had noticed, I saw the monitor. But it wasn't just my background in my education as a nurse that helped me understand what was going on, or what was going on that monitor, that somewhere in my mind I remembered enough and knew and did lower my blood pressure and my heart rate myself in that moment. That is a memory. That is part of the mind control. And I also remember my mama telling us growing up that we were her little soldiers. See, in Columbus, in Fort Bend in particular, there was a place called, allegedly, the Hidden Door Club, where the E4s and whatnot below would go. Well, Marines would go there every once in a while, once a year. They'd come for training. Army and, Marines, they just don't do it. Anyhow, me and my sister above me snuck past their guards and all. She used to call us her little soldiers. Some of us are trained. Many blessings to you, blessed be. We shouldn't have had that skill, but we did. Many blessings, blessed be.